Hi you, and welcome back to Pond House Garden. Today I am finding inspiration at the local garden center. I have come to find some fall color and I'm looking for trees and shrubs that bring in the reds and the purples and a variety of different greens, because at this time of the year a lot of the summer color starts to dwindle and we're left with our shrubs. But if they don't change color, it can be a little bit stagnant. But today, look at what I came across. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the color. Oh my goodness. So it's this deep plum purple that's on this side, but if the light comes through, then it turns to this red color. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see. So this one is Ruby Falls Red Bud. 10-year height and width would be 6 to 8 feet by 4 to 6 feet. Reddish purple blooms in early spring on bare branches and lovely little weeping tree, purple heart-shaped leaves, full sun. Isn't this amazing? I am in love, but I have just started my adventure here at the garden center, so let's continue to walk through. While I was walking up and down the aisles, I came across this beautiful, very tall, but very narrow tree. I loved the green and the reds that were all over it. It turns out this is called Crimson Century Norway Maple, and over 10 years it'll get 20 to 25 feet tall and 10 to 12 feet wide. I think this would be a fantastic border for a driveway, in fact. This Japanese maple really caught my eye when I walked by. In 10 years it will grow 10 to 12 feet high and only 4 to 6 feet wide. It has these beautiful small leaves that emerge as bright fiery red. Then they change to green for the summer, and then in the fall they go back to bright oranges and reds again. I was floored by the amount of Floribunda roses that were available at the garden center today. Floribunda roses were originally produced by crossing hybrid teas with polyantha roses. They are prized for creating a massive color by bearing many flowers held in large clusters. In particular, this one called my name, Purple Pavement Rose. It had a scent that I cannot describe. It was perfumey yet sweet. It was the most beautiful smell that I have ever smelled. Not to mention the purple flower was absolutely breathtaking. It will be added to my garden for sure. As I made my way up and down the aisles of all of the roses, I found this white beauty. This one is known as Sally Holmes. Sally Holmes is a climbing rose, and it can grow up to 6 to 12 feet. It blooms on new wood and the flowers are pure white. It is absolutely stunning, and look at how big this one area is in my hand. A definite addition to my arbors in my garden. Next, I came across this beautiful red and green grass. I found out it's called Japanese bloodgrass, and the grass will turn 100% red, which is so awesome. The exposure it needs is full sun and part shade, and it will grow 24 inches by 18 inches. Cold hardiness, and this is important, is zones 5 to 8. We here are 8B, so it might be okay, but to be on the safe side, I would probably put it in my polytunnel during the winter time. The wind started to blow while I was there, and the grass looked stunning. Next up was this cutie patootie little pomegranate. It is a cold, hardy pomegranate, and it has these orange-red blooms, and they come out in late spring all the way through summer. Then they're followed by these golf ball-sized fruits. I loved the peachy, orangey color of the little blooms. Not to mention the fact that the pomegranate fruit itself added a different type of texture to the garden. And now on to the perennials and annuals for more inspiration. Mums, 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 and more mums. This one in particular was called Tiger Eyes. It was stunning with the orange and yellow brightness of the blooms. It is considered an annual and it does need full sun. Right behind it, I thought these were a variety of maple tree, but I learned quite different. Believe it or not, this is a type of bean plant. It says it's a beautiful, fast-growing tropical foliage plant. Add an instant touch of exotic to your planters and borders. Prefers hot summer temperatures, full sun, heavy feed for dramatic growth. And it has unusual poisonous seed heads at the end of summer. But that's not going to stop me from wanting that for my place. Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. Yes, please, and multiples. This is gorgeous. These have beautifully deep burgundy maple-shaped leaves, and they will grow 36 to 60 inches tall by 24 to 30 inches wide. It does require full sun, and it's okay in zones 5 to 10, so it will be fine here where we are with zone 8B. At the garden center, they had it paired beside these ornamental cabbage and also this beautiful orange mum. Also on display was this beautiful silver dollar, but be careful, this will get 10 to 15 feet high by 8 to 10 feet wide. So as much as it looks like it suits where it fits all these other smaller plants for the fall, it will be a giant over time. Another beautiful addition here is Pennisetum Cherry Sparkler Fountain Grass. Just beautiful. I love the white, the green, and the pink hues of the leaves. At this point of my tour, I really wished I had purchased a coffee before I got here because I was having so much fun looking at all the different displays and getting really creative in my mind of how I wanted to plant my fall display at home. I turned around and here was a different display. Again, a different mix of different plants and trees and shrubs. This time the color pattern was, or the colors introduced were burgundies and browns and greens and yellows. It offered a really fresh take on fall. And then there were more shelves of mums. I always aim to have something a little bit different in my garden, and this one spoke to me. Yellows and pinks, an assorted mum mix all in one planter. Loving it! And there was more yellow and greens in that display. There was also some different planters that you could buy, and the cool part was they actually left the tags inside so you knew what flowers were in there, and that way you could buy the plants for next year again and recreate the same mixture for your garden next fall. This particular plant appeared throughout the nursery today, and it was also incorporated into some larger planters. It is a pink zebra ornamental corn, and look at the husks and the leaves on this plant. Oh, pinks and dark greens and light greens. It was fantastic. Moving on, we find this gorgeous echinacea, and this is Tequila Sunrise. Look at how beautiful this is. This one needs full sun. It will grow 18 to 24 inches and it blooms in late spring to frost. Now, how could I not stop and look at this one? The pollinators were all over it. Not to mention it had a really beautiful purple colored bloom or blossom, and it had a very different type of leaf on it. It kind of reminded me of similar to a eucalyptus leaf in a way. This one was called Dark Night or Blue Beard Dark Night. It requires full sun and it grows 24 to 36 inches and it blooms late summer into fall again. And it does indeed attract the bees and the butterflies. Ah yes, Little Lime Punch Hydrangea. And this is a cold hardy hydrangea, which is great. It's actually hardy up to negative 40 degrees Celsius. So it will do just fine up here in zone 8B. It can be planted in sun or part shade. And they say it's a petite shrub with vibrant color. But here's what I love about it besides the foliage. This beautiful flower, this blossom, it has a little bit of a lime green at the top, goes into white, and then it becomes whitey pink. And as it gets further into fall, it changes color into more of the pinks. Coleus in the summer and Coleus in the fall and winter. Stunning with those reds and burgundies. And what's even more stunning, that backdrop behind it. I have looked at this metal art piece for a couple years now. Maybe this year will be the lucky year that it comes home. I walked by some of the planters because they always have new stock, new supplies that come in. This one caught my eye this time though because the sunshine was beaming on it in just the right way that the pearlescent paint and the gold popped out. I'm loving these. This concrete sculpture stopped me in my tracks. It's really hard to see on the video, but there's little bits of glass throughout the concrete. And so if the sun catches it in just the right light, there's a sparkle of blue and a sparkle of green as you're walking by. It just brought me to peace. It's gorgeous. So that was truly inspirational. I am totally motivated now to come home and start doing some fall planting just to bring some fall color into the garden. The funny part was that I actually lost track of time and they had to kick me out of the nursery because they were closing. I have to say it's happened before. Mom and I have been kicked out of there and we kind of get these stares like, we've been here all day, lady. It's time to go home or buy something already. But as I've told you before, my walkthroughs are sometimes not a shopping trip as much as inspiration and also getting new ideas for display ideas, planter ideas and things like that. So I will leave you with a quick video of my current pumpkin patch, which unfortunately is succumbing to the powdery mildew at this point. The powdery mildew has taken hold, but the squash and the pumpkins are still thriving as best they can. Oh, and here is Ozzy. Hi, little boy. Hi, how you doing? So we still have some zucchini coming up. We still have some acorn squash, some spaghetti squash in here, and these are my carving pumpkin vines, but unfortunately, they are not doing that great this year. We've been set back up here. We are in, what are we in here? Zone 8B, and it has been a little too wet to get things started and a little too cool. And if you can hear those crickets in the background and the frogs, you can tell that fall is well underway for us. I hope that you're inspired by today's video and it motivates you to go out and find some fall color in your own garden centers near your home. In the meantime, remember, your dreams can become a reality just like ours have. All you have to do is take that very first step, or at least plant the very first plant. See you soon.